Hi, I'm Gabby from X-Laser and Elation. Today I'm walking through our Mercury profile on ONYX consoles. I'm going to talk through how to patch, zone, and navigate the builder itself. So starting with a blank show file, I'm going to go to Patch, Command, New Fixture, come down to X-Laser, and I'm going to start with the master instance, which is just going to control our master intensity, our overall scale, and our mode. I'm going to call this master, universe 1 address 1, and give it a second to process that command. This unassigned control parameter I usually put in beam effects, and that's just our overall mode. Okay, and then I'm going to go new fixture, and then now we're going to patch our basic builder. The minimum you need for this is 1. Currently the firmware supports up to 8. I'm going to patch all 8. And I'm going to start at address 7. This is going to be all 8 of our builders here. And again, some of these unassigned parameters need to be put in the relevant parameter. So I usually put output in the intensity parameter. This refers to zone routing. So if you are using our software called Accelerate to do independent zones per builder, you could put, if you're using Accelerate to assign specific builders to specific zones, that's what this channel is for. So I usually just put this in intensity. Pattern refers to the actual Gobo. So there's Gobo pages and Gobo patterns within those pages. So that goes there. Page and then pattern. These effects speed is related to effect size here. We'll get back into that when we do the builder overview. X spread and Y spread refers to the spacings between the prisms. So I'm going to put this in beam because that's where our other prism settings are. And Z spin similarly is related to the indexing of the Gobo, or the pattern here. Actually, I'm going to put that, since the other one's in pan tilt, I'm going to put Z spin with pan tilt because it goes with its Z rotate. And again, I'll go through this once more when we do the basic builder walkthrough as well. Gonna hit apply and close. And here is our first fixture. So each builder is a multi-instance fixture, or rather each builder is an instance of the fixture where the fixture can support up to 8 instances. And I'll demonstrate what that looks like later in the video. So that's what our first fixture patched. Now we're going to go into zoning. I'm going to show you my preferred method of zoning in the console itself. Like I mentioned before, you can use our software called Accelerate to do so as well. But for the purposes of demonstrating it fully in the console, this is the way that I do it and how I teach people to do it as well. So you're going to select your master instance and turn your intensity onto full. You'll notice we have no laser output yet because we have not told the builders to do anything yet. So I'm going to go down to beam effects where I put that control parameter, and I'm going to select builders enabled. I'm going to go to beam and scale that way down so that we start with a very small zone. Hand tilt I can leave as is. This is actually more of an offset within your zone. I'll demonstrate that as well when we get to it. So with these settings here, I'm going to select one of the instances of the builders. Going to go to Gobo, go all the way down to optimize test patterns, and off is the first pattern. It's just a box with some hot corners. And then I'm going to sneak the intensity up just enough so that we can see it. From here, I'm going to go back to the builder, or excuse me, go back to the master instance. And I'm going to go to beam. And I'm going to start opening that up while keeping an eye on things like cameras, windows, reflective surfaces. And I always go as wide as I can so that you can have these big sweeping dynamic effects. And then similarly with the y-axis, we open it nice and big. And then once we're happy with our zone, with the master selected, we're going to head to the ONYX menu and hit Park. So that way it saves all of those fixtures, or all of those settings that we made, so that even if we clear out and turn the builder on and move it around, it's not going to go outside of wherever we set that zone. And that works on both pan and tilt. And that is how you zone in the console. The next thing I'm going to do is walk through the Mercury profile here on ONYX. I'm going to start with our intensity and work our way down. Like I said in the patching section, this output routing really only does anything if you are also using Accelerate to do custom zones. So I'm going to leave this as is. And the output is, as you'd expect, a dim from 0 to 100. Pan tilt, like I said before, is just the position of the beam, with the spin angle here being a full index, and you can control the speed of that as well. And I'm going to select that back to off. Color gets a little bit interesting because in the mains part of the builder here, these are just color macros that don't do anything until you head to the sub-fixtures and give them a color. So each instance has two color parts. So you'll see in ONYX, it's fixture ID 2, and then 2.1 and 2.2 are the two color parts. So all three of these is one builder. And as you know, we patched 8 of them. So with overall selected, which is the default, it will be white. The output will be white because that is what the two color parts are set to. If you want to change your default to be default color, Gobo default color, that'll just take whatever color the Gobo has by default, if the Gobo has a color by default. And I'll explain that when we get to the next parameter. But to demonstrate what this does is I will select this one, hard linear 90 degrees pre. Okay. Hard linear 90 degrees pre. Pre refers to the prism or pre some of the motion effects. There are also some ones that say post. So I'm going to start with hard linear 90 degrees pre, and I'm going to select my first color and make it magenta. And as you'll see, there is a hard line between the two colors I have set. And I'm going to make sure that this is actually 0. Yep, okay. So like I said, pre refers to pre-prism. It also means that the color is mapped to its location on the Gobo itself. So if you were to move the Gobo back and forth or move the builder back and forth, the gradient stays exactly where it was. But if you select the same one, but post, you'll notice that the color is located in the zone and the beam moves through the color. And this is one of my favorite things to do is I'll have a cube that's using a pre-color effect, and then I'll just switch the macro, and suddenly it's a fully new cue. Some of them are linear left to right, some of them are up and down, some of them are radial, some of them are soft, some of them come from an angle or from the corner. So you kind of have to play with the ones and see where they are in space until you, oh, there it is, right in the middle. So there's pink in the middle, cyan on the top and bottom. So you'll find the ones you like. There are also some bands down here at different densities. As you can see, it gets very deep very quickly. I'm going to turn this back off so we can see what it's doing. Under Gobos, we have pages of patterns. So in the pages section, we have circles, lines, curves, triangles, squares, all kinds of shapes as you go through. And then on the right here, we have the selections within that page. It's kind of like a media server. There are about 450 Gobos built into the profile by default. And as you'll notice, I selected default color so that some of these that have a color will show the default color. But if I were to go to overall, it'll do magenta because that's what my first builder is doing. My first instance, this one, 2.1, is magenta. Okay. There are some very fun ones in here. So you'll just have to save some presets of the ones you like. You can also apply your index here as well. I'm going to select one of our smaller lines to demonstrate the next section, which is our prisms and prism selection. So selection here is the actual prism. As you'll notice, they are labeled. So there's 2, 3, 4, so on and so forth. But the other fun thing is that you can change the scale with full invert of the spacing of your prism. And because all of these are parameters, you can run an effect on any of them. And these have some indexing as well. And then, like I said, with the color, some of them are labeled post the prism. So as you move, you'll see this demonstrated even more clearly than before. I'm going to select big line to show you my other favorite. Let's do this one. My other favorite thing to do, which is to go into beam effects with a big line and select one of our waves. Because this is the easiest way to make a liquid sky. Big line with sine wave that you can also change the amplitude and speed of. And that's why it's really fun to open your X scale when you're zoning as big as possible, because you can do these sweeping, room-filling liquid sky effects super simply. So all of that was one builder, but we have 8 of them. So I'm going to select all 8 and turn them on. And they're sitting on top of each other by default, but I can also fan them out And then I'm going to scale them down so they get less flickery, so you can see what's happening here too. But you can essentially have 8 different moving heads coming from the same point, the same fixture, right? And like the color effects that we ran on one builder, you can also run them across all of your builders. So I'm going to select the first color of all of them, and it's better if you make these into groups. Oops, wrong one. There we go. And then once you have a gradient you like, you can also run effects across all of your builders. And because I'm running a post gradient, you see that as they head to the right, they turn magenta. As they head to the left, they turn white. So that is our Mercury Basic Builder in a nutshell. As you can see, it can get really deep and really layered very quickly, but the idea is that you have all of the tools needed for all of your beam shows built directly into the profile itself. And then you use your console's effect engines to make any of the effects that you want. You can save any of these as presets like you do any other beam fixture. You can have your position presets, you can have your beam presets. All of that works just like any other moving head that you would program anyway. Thanks for watching. For more console walkthroughs like this one, head to X-Laser's YouTube channel.